All right, looks like I'm going live. I am live on YouTube. It's always scary when I say that out loud. Hello, my name is Toni from the Fiberology Lab, and this is Coffee Chat with me. We are walking through some quilt basics. Just what I've done is taken my Learn to Quilt class and broken it up in smaller bite-sized chunks and sharing a little bit every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday morning. This is the last one for this week because tomorrow is Thanksgiving. I plan to be watching the Macy's Day Parade about this time. So if you don't mind, please say hello so I can acknowledge your time. I would love to say hi back at you and just know that your time is valuable to me as well, I'm sure to you. So today we're going to do some finishing up of our last blocks that we have learned about. Yesterday we were talking about half square triangles and one way to do them. I know lots of many ways to do them. There are so many tools out there. And I will do that in a future episode where I talk about different tools and what might work better for you. But because I am teaching this at a beginner level, I want to make sure that you are being able to see what you have on your hand can help you do half square triangles. I got distracted. I'm sorry. Do you see how I stuttered for words? That's what normally we call a squirrel moment. I just saw that Hope came in. Hey, Hope, good morning to you. And I realized I had 2 or 3 mics on, so I had to turn one off. So hopefully you can hear me well, and I'm not echoing because I had 2 mics on. I'm sorry. Still got to figure out a layout. Today I'm very happy with my lighting, so I'm very excited. So we're going to go over the workstation here in a minute, and you're going to see the lighting's much better than was yesterday. Again, I'm still in that transitional process. My business coach told me it would take me a little time for me to get all settled and get into a process, and we're still getting there. Hey, Anna, good morning to you. Hope you guys are both doing well. Hope and Anna, great to see my friends here. So we are wrapping up our blocks. So I didn't bring my sample. It's still at the office, so I need to bring that home. But we talked about making half square triangles yesterday. These are small half square triangles. These are 2.5 inches. This is why I actually took this technique out of my beginning class, because it's a little more advanced. I want my beginner quilters to feel success and feel confident in finishing a quilt, and then move on to more intricate processes. But I threw it in here for now because I thought you guys would be wanting to learn. Hey there, Christine. Good morning. Hello, Heather. Good morning to you. So I am going to switch my camera and go over to our workstation table so you can see what we are working on today. So like I said yesterday, we made half square triangles. You should have made 16 because we're making 4 friendship star blocks. This is a friendship star block. It is one of those very common blocks. Back in the day, the reason it's called a friendship star block is because that centerpiece, normally this would be all muslin or cream or white, and the centerpiece is where you would put signature on, your name and your date. So that's why it was called friendship star, so you can share it with your friends and build a signature quilt out of it. A lot of if you go look at some antique quilts, you'll see some that have signatures written on them in the center of this square. So that's why it's called a friendship block. So we're going to keep it simple. Now we're going to make these. So you're going to need for 1 block, remember we're making 4, so just multiply everything by 4. For 1 block, we need 4 half square triangles, 1 center square, and then 4 outside squares. I like to call this our mini quilt process. We are going to be making a mini quilt. The way I like to teach how to put blocks together is the same way that I put whole quilt tops together. When I look at this, let me pull these out of the way for a second. When I look at this square, I am going to piece left to right and then top to bottom. So this is exactly what I would do in my quilt top. I would so my blocks are my rows left to right pieces, and then I do my rows going top to bottom. So we're going to do the same kind of concept here. It's like a puzzle. So using your picture on your PDF, or from here, you can just lay out your puzzle pieces just so they match exactly like the PDF that I have done up for you. And inevitably, is that the right inevitably? I can't say anything this morning. I haven't had coffee. I know this is crazy. It's coffee chat, and I don't have coffee. You will twist up your half square triangles. So the best way to look at them is see how they have the same motion. So you could actually turn these in a different direction. But we're going to use the pattern so I don't confuse everybody. Oops, see, and I messed it up already. There we go. So we've got our piece puzzle right there. So I'm going to sew this piece to this, and then this piece to this group. Then I'm going to press it. Then I'm going to do the same with all the other two rows. And we're going to come up with, look at me, I've got stuff ahead of schedule here. 3 little rows. Like I said, this is a mini quilt. This will be your first miniature quilt. How's that? So you're going to sew them into rows just like this. Now, when I look at my quilt, when we get to that point, when I talk about pressing one direction and pressing the opposite, same concept we're going to do here. So I want to make sure I press this row towards this. So it's not pressed open in this case. I just went and pressed towards the right. And I did the bottom one towards the right because the second one, the middle one's going to go towards the left. So they're pressed this direction. So that helps us match up our seams, and that's what's important in putting this together. So I'm going to lay this down, and again, I'm working top to bottom. I'm going to lay it down on top of it. I'm going to nestle those seams. Let me see if I can get the, where's my camera? There we go. Nestle those seams, and I still would pin it, even though it's super small. We want to make sure those seams stay together when we sew them. So we're going to pin it together, make sure that they're nestled into each other. And you're going to do the same here. Now, what happens if we have a bump? See that kind of bump? I did that on purpose, actually. All I want you to do is make sure you pin it. Let me go ahead and pin this one. This is one of these tips that I teach in my beginners because it happens where somebody's half square triangle is not laying flat or the square is just a little bit off. So you have that little bit of bubble. When you start to sew, we're going to pull it taut between those pins so it will lay flat. And that's one of those reasons why we always press our seams before we press our fabric out, because it releases that tension that we're about to put on this seam. So what we do is we're going to sew under the needle, come up to the pin, remove the pin once that needle hits that seam line, and then as we're sewing towards this pin, I'm going to put a little tension on it. I'm going to have my fingers on it and pull it under my seam, under my needle, so it lays flat. And I don't remove that pin until I get that needle really, really close. I don't go on my pin or over my pin, but really close, and then I pull it out, and that way it'll lay flat. That's my little trick for, now if it's a really big difference, like if you have a really big hole there, you might have to do a teeny tiny pleat that's not going to be noticeable because you can iron it out, or you're going to have to rip out a seam and figure out how to make them the same size so they will fit this section. So what you're going to do now, and then you're going to press that and then sew this one on the bottom and rinse and repeat that whole process till you end up with 4 of these blocks. Super fun, super simple. Practice, practice, practice. I know it gets a little challenging sometimes when we're doing these new processes and different ways of doing them that we get frustrated. Just step back from it and then come back. It'll be easy. Hey there, Linda. How are you this morning? Yep, you're getting busy for Turkey Day. She's doing her Turkey Day today with all her friends and family in the area. Well, not all. She's got another one tomorrow. But she's not cooking then. So so that is our final block. So that's all our blocks. We should have 20. I think it's 25 blocks. We have 15 of the rail fence. So we have 15 of these. We have 4 of these, 2 of these, and 4 of these. I don't know. I think it's 25. I'm pretty sure it's 5 by 5. And I'm going to show you next week. So Tuesday I'll be back with Coffee Side Chat. Next week I'm going to show you how to do the layout and sew your rows together and press them. And then we might even get the whole top together by next week, because we'll have 3 sessions next week: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 10 o'clock here. I will be back live Black Friday in our Facebook and in our app. and in our Instagram every hour from 9 to 3 on Friday with Black Friday specials. And then I'm doing my 3-2-1 Gone sale Saturday morning in the app only. I've got so much going on. Hopefully you're keeping up with everything. There's a lot going on. And don't fret if you can't do everything. I am not offended. I offer a lot of options because everyone's different. Everyone has different time and different needs. So it's all good. I don't take it personally. But if you're available Saturday afternoon, we are doing a sit and sew Zoom. It's free. You do need to sign up. I think I have 2 or 3 spots left. So if you can find that on our website, thefibrologylab.com, and you just type the word Zoom, it should come up and you'll be able to find it and sign up for it there. Again, it's free. And I'm only taking a limited number of people. We're just going to hang out. We're going to sit and tell stories, sew, ask for help, get to know each other. It's all about friends and growing together. So this is it. This session was short and sweet because I have a broccoli casserole dish I need to make now and get ready for my Thanksgiving preparation. So I hope you guys all have a wonderful Wednesday, a blessed Thanksgiving. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. info@fibrologylab.com. I will be back Friday live, and then we also have Friday with Friends here on YouTube at 12 on Friday as well. We'll be with Miss Deb Miller from Project Linus of East Tennessee. So much is always going on, so much, but it's all good. It's all good. So you guys have a great one. Happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you soon. And remember, we are friends, fibers, and fun.